All right, here we go again, everyone. Thank you very much for watching the videos, and thank you for all the comments and the countries and the new subscribers. You guys are really awesome. In this particular video, I just kind of realized that I did not get a chance to share what I did real quickly to store the batteries, to store the M12 and the M18 batteries. So in this video, I took the deep 5-compartment organizing case. So this is the slim one, this is the deep one. They officially, I don't know if they just call it deep, they might call it just 5-compartment organizer. Actually, let's go into here. This is a Canadian website. Much love to Canada and everyone out there. They have been my #1 supporter as far as views. They've stayed in that #1 spot. UK gets close to them, but no one has taken Canada down from the views. They have been my largest country outside of the US that view the content. Thank you. This particular site is IHL Canada, but the model number is the same. So unfortunately, they charge them just a little bit more, because I think they're charging them $39, and I think it says excluding, meaning not including the tax. So yeah, that's about $10 more than what we pay here in the States. I think on average we're paying like $29, and I paid $20 when these went on sale from a company out here called Ace Hardware, and I had to order it online but send it to the store to pick it up, and then it was only certain stores that had it available to receive it at the store. So I kind of remember those details, even though this was done many months ago. But that was the trick that I had to go through to get the cheapest without being charged shipping. And I did not have a location near me. I actually had to drive 30 minutes or something. It was in some little town that was the closest location to where I was at. And so that's how I acquired these for $20. I purchased 4, and I used two of them to store the batteries. So at the time, I needed to store the batteries because I had accumulated a couple of the batteries from the M12 and M18, and I didn't want them bumping each other and moving around in the toolboxes. So I did what a lot of common choices are, which is purchase some foam and place the battery on top of the foam with the marker, trace it, and then just cut it out with a very inexpensive cutter. It might have been this one, I don't know, but these are really cheap. You can usually buy them in a pack of 3 or 2 or whatever, and they just cost dollars. But I just took the battery. These are really tight, and so I placed it on top of the foam. This foam comes in a sheet, I think 3 by 4, maybe 3 feet wide, 4 feet in length, and it's about, I think, 2 inches, yeah, maybe 2.5, over 2 inches thick. So you take your marker, you trace it out, then you take the knife, cut it out. It is not easy at all. It takes a lot of time and patience. As you see, I didn't make it perfect, but it works. It allows the batteries to be very snug. It allows me to transport them. This particular stuff you see here is from heat. Unfortunately, these were stored in a location where a couple of times the temperature was probably over 110, maybe even 115, and foam does not like heat. So this is M12 line. It works perfect. yeah, as far as transporting, this is the best way to transport. I have them on a rolling case, but really most of the time that I use these, I do not use them on the case. I just use them separate, because I usually have these, I think 2 of these, and maybe the backpack is kind of like my little mobile setup when I use these most of the time. But anyway, the reason these are upside down, because when I going through the batteries, I have this sitting down and this part is vertical, so they're right side up for me in that particular location. But yeah, so I did this really quick, but it works great. It is challenging to cut the foam perfectly to fit the inside of the container. For me at the time, I didn't have time to make this super pretty. I even cut it too much here to where I had to add a little sliver of foam to take up the space, but it works perfect. It's just not the prettiest thing. But now for the batteries, I only purchase the batteries if they're on sale. I never pay retail for the batteries. These 2 came in some kind of set, probably Christmas time last year. So in a few months, that's when I've noticed most of the deals are coming up. This year, you guys probably going to get a lot of deals if you haven't already started accumulating your set. Me, I usually have the time and patience to wait until everything goes on a really good sale, which is usually during the holidays when they have the best deals. They have sales, of course, every season, every other month, but the holidays are when they have the best back-to-back deals. So I don't remember the price, but I do remember these came in a pair. The XC makes the difference if you're going to utilize these tools for a long period of time and you need them to do a lot of torquing. If you do a lot of torque with your tools, mechanic stuff, very large bolts or very long bolts, you definitely need the extra capacity. If you need to bustle loose certain types of nuts, the little batteries do not do a good job. They usually try to give you these in certain deals. Always do the math, people. Do the math on what the battery costs by itself and what the tool costs by itself and what your use is going to be. Your use is the most key determining factor of what you pay for the tools and the batteries. What you're going to use it for. If you're doing do-it-yourself projects on occasion, here and there, your tools sit 70% of the time, you use it 30% of the time, and you just need a battery to make the tool operate, then these smaller capacities can benefit you. Then you can go with the deals where it's just the tool and they just throw in a little battery for you to get you started. But if you utilize these tools past do-it-yourself, like for your profession or even for your do-it-yourself, but it's pretty often or pretty heavy duty, you definitely have to go with the extra capacities. It's worth skipping the small capacity batteries because they do not benefit you. The runtime is so short. The torque is not there. These batteries are from the M18 line, and this battery and some of the tools will not remove bolts. This battery and some of the tools will not remove or break loose the bolts. As soon as you stick a 4.0 in there, a 6.0, boom, it breaks it loose instantly with no problem. This one, impact or anything, and it is not removing the large bolts. But the 4.0 and the 6.0 does it with no problem. For lights, it makes a big difference also in the extra capacity. This particular one I've used in a couple of the lights that I have. The runtime is very, very small. If you're doing a project where you need the light for more than 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so, definitely go with the extra capacity because the light will start blinking with this in a matter of minutes. Well, I wouldn't say minutes, but the runtime is such a big difference to where it's not worth this being in your setup at all if you can avoid it. So if you're going to use your tools like that, definitely go with the extra capacity. These batteries to me are very expensive. I only purchase them when it's a really, really good deal. This particular 8.0, I forgot the price by itself, but it was so expensive. But luckily I got this in a package or a kit that came with the supercharger. So that made it worth it, because I needed to purchase the supercharger anyway, and this battery being packaged with the supercharger made it worth the deal, because I already had the 3.0, which is great. If you can only purchase one of these batteries, get the 3.0. The XCs, they put in a few extra cells, so it has a little extra capacity. It does help. It does prevent you from changing the battery as quickly as you would with the regular batteries. So the XCs have proven that they are worth the extra capacity. I'm not going to say worth the money, but it does help that they have the extra capacity there, because to me the batteries are expensive no matter what level. So hopefully for some of you that's just getting into the line, I've shared some information that can assist you with your decision making when you purchase the tool. Even if it's on sale and it comes with the battery, always look at what the battery is, what type of battery, and look at the individual price of the battery. Most of the time they try to state what amount they're saving you, and a lot of times that could be accurate on a retail basis, but definitely always do your homework. And if you can, be patient and wait for the sales, but let your use determine the tool, how much you pay, and the battery price. I understand that's not always easy, but of course everyone wants the cheapest price for everything, but that is not always within your parameter at that time frame. So when you need the battery or the tool also can make a difference, because some of these tools I needed at a particular time. The majority of the other tools I purchased in advance for the usage. So I purchased the tools in advance, so I had enough time to wait until the deals roll around. I had enough time to wait until the batteries roll around to where they make sense for my particular use. So don't jump up and just buy these tools because you like DeWalt, you like Milwaukee, and you're just out here purchasing these tools just so you can do videos or anything. Please, guys, have a use for these tools. They are nice. I like tools. I like what they can do and all this stuff, but I only purchase the tools that save me money or make me money. That's when I get to that direction of the tools, not just because I can afford them. It's not worth it if you're just buying them just because they look cool or you like showing off all the tools you have. Every tool I have, I utilize, or I have projects coming up that I will need those tools. So everything has a purpose for me, and I actually use it. I don't do what a lot of these YouTubers do, where they buy these tools, they do a review, and then they return the tools. They actually take the tools back. I understand that allows you to do your thing if that's what your goal is on YouTube, is to do all these tool reviews, but you're not in a situation where you actually need the tools, or you're just giving your information on the tools and you're actually taking most of the stuff back. So these are tools that I've shared in a video, I think in maybe November, December, and as you can see, of course I still have them, I use them, but once again, all my stuff is not sponsored. Every single piece of tool I have, I'll just wait till it come on sale, and I do what I need to do that makes sense for my situation. So I thank all of you for watching. This is just a quick setup of what I did for the battery storage for M18, M12. I really appreciate all your comments. Definitely leave some more if you have any questions or you'd like to leave a comment for anything. You guys know what to do. Thank you very much, and I will catch you next time.